Representatives Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution has proposed a creation of 31 additional states in the country. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who presided over plenary on Thursday, read out a letter from the committee containing the proposed states. For the North Central, 7 additional states are proposed. 4 more states are proposed in the Northeast. Same for the Northwest. In the Southeast, 5 additional states were proposed. 4 in the South, and 7 in the Southwest. If approved, this will increase the number of states in Nigeria to 67. Well, let's get insights now about this proposal for more than 20 more states. We bring in now Federal Commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission, Ginika Tor. She joins me now on the news. It's good to have you with us. Welcome.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
But where do you stand, in this bid or the agitation for more states? In the Southeast, where you represent, Enugu State, where you represent, 6 states, 5 states, I should say, are being proposed. One okay, specifically in Enugu State. So tell us where you stand.
Oh, well, 5 more states proposed. For South 4, for North Central 7, for Northeast 4, for Northwest 4, and for Southeast 5. That has got to tell you that every zone wants something, wants new states. But the point here is, how near-fetched is that? Even if we in the Southeast want 5 states, how near-fetched is it? And I think that is what I'm actually here to open the eyes of the public to understand, or even those at the National Assembly and also the general public to understand that it's important, it's okay, it's good, but it's something achievable. And I want to tell you, it's like White Elephant Project. What do I mean by that? Have you seen a white elephant before? Nikki Toby, Professor Nikki Toby and Ben Wambweze of the blessed memory, who are the proponents of the Constitution, has put everything in the Constitution for us to understand that, yes, this is possible, this right has been given, but there are procedures that must be followed. And I read something this morning where there's a press release by the National Assembly where they said they haven't approved, but they only read out the letter, but they haven't approved because they know that despite the fact that Section 9, subsection 1, gives them a May right, to alter the provisions of the Constitution in this regard. But in Section 9, subsection 2, if you read, it says, in Section 1, it says the National Assembly may subject to the provision of this section, alter any of the provisions of this Constitution. Then in subsection 2 of Section 9, it says, an act of the National Assembly for the alteration of this Constitution, not being an act to which Section 8 of this Constitution, Section 8 established the 36 states. Section 3, subsection 1, established the 36 states, And then Section 8 is now given right. So it says in Section 9, subsection 2, House of Assembly, unless the proposal is supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of majorities of the members of the House and approved by resolution of the House of Assemblies in not less than 2/3 of all the states. 2/3 is 24 states of all the House of Assemblies.
In the Federation.
In the Federation.
Right. But, okay, but let us basically understand. First, for Southeast now, in Enugu State, we understand that a state is being proposed to come out of Enugu State, Adada State. And primarily, the the question or the rationale for all of this is basically coming from discontent, people feeling marginalized, that they're not being carried along adequately. Let's first understand, that concept.
Aspect. Okay.
Is that legitimate? Do you think that's a fair ground?
No, it's a fair ground. It's a fair ground, but that does not omit the fact that when these states were established, they were looking at the landmass, they were looking at language, they were looking at population. So now, if you feel that we are more in population, and we can see that even in enjoying the political address, we are left behind, and then we need this, it's a good development. But the issue here also that you must never throw away is the way to get it done. Okay. That is why I moved into the procedure. Right. I'm not against the fact that Southeast, I'm from the Southeast. And I see at the end of the day, when ministerial appointments are given, we have less. And that means we have less. But if our population has increased, why not? If the landmass has enhanced, why not? But our constitution is so stubborn that we need to go through rigority to get this thing established. And if Southeast is asking for 5, and you see a place like South asking for 4, they already have 7. If they ask for 4, that's 11. You will still not come to the equal fingers because it can never be equal. I've always been on the path of equitable sharing. If we have 5 states in the Southeast, if things are done appropriately, I'm from the Federal Character Commission, right? Then we'll still not lose anything. We'll still be okay, even if we have 5 states. Right.
You are a politician, and you're also occupying a very key strategic position as a commissioner in the FCC. How do you think this matter can be better resolved? Now that you've already identified that there may be a clog in the Constitution, but do you see some form of negotiation, rather than this agitation, or rather than this hard-cut way that we are seeing? How do you see an end to all of this?
Well, I always believe in dialogue. I always believe in negotiation. If there are areas that feel marginalized, that feel left out, that don't feel the sense of belonging as it ought to be, then we should be able to balance it. But we are not talking about something that the Constitution has put something that you can change all of a sudden. So even if that's going to happen, we should come to a round table to say, okay, you already have this, what's your population? You already have this, what's your population? I'm not going to be speaking just for the Southeast, but I'm going to be looking at the Federation in totality. Let's look at areas where things need to be, ought to be the way it's supposed to be. Okay. And then meant ways. Okay.
What would be one key area for you for it to be addressed?
Dialogue. Let all the stakeholders come on the round table and dialogue. All right. You can say, okay, not central, you already have this number, let's come to this. And I don't even know how it's going to be achieved, but...
All right. We'll just leave it at, the point you have made, talking about negotiation and dialogue, and see where it goes from there. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us, Ginika Tor, on the news.
Thank you.